Hello everyone and welcome to the SLP Solution. I am Carrie Clark and today we are getting organized. This is my Speech in a Box kit. I'm super excited to show it to you guys today. This is part one of our summer organization series. So we are going to be doing one of these posts every week. I'm going to give you one mission and it's going to help you get one aspect of your SLP practice organized this summer. So our goal is that by the time fall hits that you guys are completely organized, you have all of your materials organized, all your paperwork organized, everything's going to be smooth sailing for this fall. So welcome. I see some people joining us on Facebook Live. Welcome. We're also going to be posting this recording to YouTube and back on the blog post. So if you would like any of the links that we're going to share today, I'm going to show you a lot of different products that are inside of here. And if you want any of those links or the written instructions on how to do what we're doing today, you can go over to our website at slpsolution.com/speech-box. So that's where you're going to find all of these instructions and all of the links in case you miss anything. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is what I have created for my Speech in a Box after trying to decide what was the first step for organizing materials. So the first thing that I do is I think about my core team. So if you think about all of the materials that you have as a sports team, I'm really good at sports balls analogies, so get ready. If you think about this as your sports team, then the starting lineup or your core team is what we're going to focus on first. So you want to make sure that all of the materials that you use on a regular basis are at hand, ready to go whenever you need them. So that is what this is here. This is my kit. I don't know if you can see that well in the video. It's a nice little box, and if you would like the link to all of this stuff, you can head over to the website. It's written in the description here. But I've organized all of my materials in a box, and these are all the things that I use regularly, that I use almost every day, and that I would like to have ready at a moment's notice. So the first step we're going to use for this is to assemble your roster. So get a piece of paper and write down all of the things that you typically use in therapy on a regular basis. So we're talking about the things that you use almost every day. Articulation cards, language cards, what kind of visuals are you using, what kind of supports. Write those things down on a list, and then we're going to go through, and the second step is to recruit new talent. So you're going to look at your list and you're going to see who could be replaced by somebody a little more efficient. So what we want to look for is we want to look for multitaskers. We want to look for items that can serve more than one purpose, and we want to look for things that are small. Most speech language pathologists that I talk to don't have big spaces. You're either working out of your car or you have a speech room that is very small. So we want to conserve space, and even if you do have a big space, having everything right at hand is going to keep your sessions more organized, and it's going to keep you more sane. So smaller is better, assuming that your students can still see the materials that you're trying to show them. So this is my kit. I'm going to go through what some of my key players are in terms of players that are multitaskers and players that are small. Okay, so cool thing about this box is it has boxes inside. It's boxes and boxes. So if we open up here, we have 3 different boxes here. I've labeled mine reinforcers, speech, and language. So I'm going to pull out speech first. So this right here is my speech box. And again, if you want any of these labels, you can, or the link to the box itself, you can go over to slpsolution.com/speech-box. The link is in the description and see that. So if you open up here, you can see I have all of my articulation cards in here, and all of my articulation cards are 2 by 2. 2 inches by 2 inches. This is my favorite size for articulation cards because, as you can see, they're still big enough that you can see what's on there, but they're small enough that I can fit, this is the entire sound repertoire. All of my sounds are in here. Plus I've got a deck. I think this one maybe, oh no, that's R's. There's a lot of R's. I have a deck in here that's CVC words. I have one for VC words, CV words, multisyllabic words. So I've got a lot of cards in here in a very small space because they're only 2 inches by 2 inches. So I highly recommend this size. I also have in here my Articulation Screener, which is part of our articulation kit, and my phrase cards. So all of that fits nicely into this speech box. If I'm going somewhere and I'm just working on speech, I can just grab this box and take this with me instead of the whole kit. So that's why I have it separated out this way. If you're interested, we do sell these 2x2 cards where you can just download the PDF and print them out yourself. And that comes with the screeners and the other visuals, lots of good visuals in that kit. So if you want that, you can head over to our website as well. Just use that link that's at the top of this video description. So there's my Artic cards. I also have a set of language cards that are a little bit smaller, and I like those as well. So here's my language box. And I tried to think again about what are some cards that could multitask. So what are the things that I can have one set of cards that works on multiple targets, because obviously we cannot carry around everything that we could ever need in therapy. So for example, in my language cards, I have these vocab cards. This one says microwave. This is a set of vocab cards that are basic vocab from 10 basic categories like household items, food, clothes, body parts, that kind of stuff on the front. And then on the back, I don't know if you can see that, it's questions. So it starts with a yes, no, and then we've got who, what, where, when, how, why. I think there's some other ones on there somewhere. So we've got questions on the back, pictures on the front. So that makes it so that I can work on lots of different things with this one deck of cards. And there's a whole bunch of different categories in here. I also have our sequencing cards where I've broken down activities into step-by-step processes. Those will be good for working on a lot of different skills. We've got the past tense verb cards. So it shows something on the front, and then on the back, the action is done. That's not the same card. And then you say what happened. We also have present tense verb cards. I took a couple AAC boards and broke those apart into individual cards so I can use those for sentence builders for some of my lower functioning kids. I also have following directions cards. So if you're working on multi-step directions, you can lay a couple of these out and have the students practice those. Here's another AAC board. Oh, this one was emotions. I forgot. This is I feel, and then a whole bunch of emotions on that one. And then we have conversation cues for how you can continue a conversation with a peer. So I've got enough in here that I can work on just about any language skill just with this set. And so this, again, if I need to go work on a language client, I can just grab this box and I'm ready to go. So these language cards are also for sale if you would like these. They are downloads, again, where you can download them and print them out. And you can head over to our website to get that at slpsolution.com/speech-box. So that is my language section and my speech section. And then the other thing I wanted to show you when you're looking at recruiting new talent and getting your multitaskers are these guys here. So this is, oh my gosh, this is getting cumbersome. So this is what I do for conversation and carryover and generalization. So if I'm working on any skill, be it speech sounds or language or grammar or anything like that, I will pull these cards out for working on generalization. So what these are they are pictures from magazines. Did I grab those? Yes, I did. Oh, so the ones I picked this time around, I like to switch it up. This is Highlights Hidden Pictures. I love Highlights magazine for this. They have such good pictures and they're super cheap. You can get one and make 20 different therapy materials for like $2. So there's Hidden Pictures Highlights magazine, and then I found this one, Picture Puzzles. So this is where there's 2 pictures and one of them is slightly different. And that gives, not only could you just pull one picture if you wanted to do that, but it also gives you an opportunity to work on comparing and contrasting, which is a great conversational skill and allows you to work a lot of skills into that. So I'll show you. So what I do is I just cut out the picture and I paste those onto a piece of cardstock. You can laminate them if you want, or you can just toss them when they get done, when they get used up, and then you can buy some new ones. So we've got, this one was a hidden picture. This one here was a catch the difference, find the differences. So you can have them talk about the differences, and that gives them a lot of opportunities to use full sentences and to practice those skills. We've also got these, which I thought were just really nice story starters. So you could say, tell me a story about this crazy magician with a flaming book. What do we got? So you can come up with some good ones from that. All right, so those are our multitaskers. That is step 2, is recruit some new talent. Step 3 is adding utility players. Now, obviously we can't have everything that we need at hand at all times. So utility players are going to be players that can play any position. You like my sports ball analogy? I'm so good at this. So these are things that you can do a lot with. One of my favorites is dry erase strips that are sentence strips. You can write just about anything on there that you want them to practice. You can also use the back. You can make a pacing board. You can draw something out. Lots of options for this, and a dry erase marker. We also have, where are we going here? What else? Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm there. Bubbles. Bubbles are my favorite. I really like bubbles. Bubbles are great for getting kids to do a lot of different skills. We have this dry erase dice cube. That's one of my favorites. If you want the links for any of these things, they're over in the blog post. You just dry erase, write things on these sides, and then you can have the children roll it. It just makes it a little more fun. I've done this for syllables. If you're working on a sound in syllables, you can just write different vowels on this, roll it, and then the child pairs the consonant with the vowel. So that's a fun one. Let's see, we've got some clickers. I like clickers. You just click them for every time the child gets something right. You can have a second clicker and click it for every time the child does not get it right, or maybe for total. And then that can be used for your data collection. So lots of different ways that you can bring in other materials that can be used for a lot of different things. Okay, once you have that, so you have your main players, you have your utility players that can play any position, then you're gonna call in the reinforcements. So I actually have an entire box here full of reinforcements. This is my reinforcements kit. Of course, you can organize this how you want. I like to keep a set of visuals with me that are going to be helpful for reinforcing and when our children are having a little bit of trouble. So I have my mood thermometer. I have my first then board, which has spots at the bottom for adding repetitions on there. I have a sit down picture because sometimes you're dealing with this kid over here and you need this one over here to sit down. So you just show it while you're doing over here. And that can be an effective tool if you teach it. Same with the shh. I've heard people call this shh on a stick. And you can put a little stick on it. And I also have a break card in here, which I show you how to use in this kit as well. So if you would like, we have a kit that has these visuals. It has the labels for the box if you wanted to get those, and the sentence strips. It's got all of those things kind of packed together. That's only $5 over on our website. So you can find that over at the link as well. I also, in my reinforcements kit, I have a sand timer. I have chapstick, which seems weird, but these are like scented lip gloss ones. And I got this tip from somebody on the Speechy show once, and I forget who it is. So if it was you, tag yourself and let me know because I can't remember. But you use these smelly chapsticks, and you, at the end of the session, you let the kids put it on the back of their hand, and then they have like a little smelly spot that they can smell. It's like a secret stamp. So that's cool. We've got some of those in there. And then just regular stamps too for a little reinforcement. I also have mirrors. I got these at the dollar store, but I do have a link to some that are on Amazon that stand up like this. I have tongue depressors, coffee stirrers. Those are great for working on artic sounds as well. I have a dry erase marker and a speech warm-up. This is from our site. That's part of the kit as well. So, oh, and I have my speech rules. That's also part of the kit. The speech rules up here, I like to keep this handy. I like to keep it really simple because I usually work with smaller kids. If you have older kids, of course, you can make a more complicated one. Mine just says, be safe, be kind. Here, I can bring it closer. Be safe, be kind, and be responsible. And then some examples of how that looks. How does it look to be safe? We sit and we use the material safely. To be kind, we use kind words and we stop when someone says no. For being responsible, we listen to the adult and do our best work. So those are my rules. You can get those over on the website or you can make your own. So that is my reinforcement kit, and I'm getting everything all out of order now. I'm gonna have to reorganize to get it back in. But so that's what I have. I recruit my best players for my main team. I add in those utility players that can work all the positions. I add some reinforcements, and then you've got your team. And this is a good core lineup that will get you pretty much where you need to go. Obviously, we're going to have some other therapy materials that we use, and I'm going to talk to you about organizing those next week. But for this week, I just want you to organize the main bulk of what you use regularly. So the last step to this, once you've assembled all this, is how do you put it together? And that's what this guy is. So this is my favorite kit for doing this. I really like this box. If I haven't sold you on it yet, just from looking at it, then you probably don't want it. But if you do, I have the link. We have an affiliate link for Amazon. If you want to go over there, go to slpsolution.com/speech-box. That will take you to the whole post about all of this. And at the bottom, there's a link, an affiliate link to this kit over on Amazon. This one is by far my favorite. If you don't want to go with something this big, I also just recommend finding these craft organizers is essentially what this is. You just have to make sure you find one that's more than 2 inches tall, because that will allow your cards to stand upright if you have the 2x2 Artic cards. But these have been a lifesaver. These have allowed me to travel and carry my materials with me and keep everything very organized without it taking over entirely. So I really like these, plus they're not gonna spill out or get disorganized while you are traveling. If you don't end up with our box and you want to buy your own, I do recommend the ones that have the dividers that come out, because then you can reposition them how you want for your Artic cards. So I do recommend that if you're not going to go with ours. But if you do want to grab ours or any of the links from any of this stuff, you can get that over on our website. It's slpsolution.com/speech-box. That's where you can find the instructions. You can find the links to all of these different things, including the link over to Get the Box and all of our materials. So there you go. That's what I got. All right, if you have any questions, we would love to hear from you. You can post those on Facebook. You can post them in the over on our website. You can email them to us, however you'd like to get a hold of us. So we are going to be doing this, like I said, once a week. This is week 1 of our organization series. We will do more organization throughout the rest of the summer. Next week, we're going to talk about organizing your other materials. So the things that are not in your core kit, where do we put those? How do we organize them? So that'll be next week, and I'm excited to bring it to you. I'll be doing another Facebook Live at noon on our SLP Solution Facebook page, or you can catch the blog post. And if you go to this week's blog post over at our website, you can sign up for updates so that you will get those emailed to you on Tuesday mornings when they come out. All right, thank you all so much for showing up. I hope that this was helpful, and don't forget to post your questions below if you have any questions for us. Thanks, guys. Bye.